Aloha everyone, I'm Dr. BethAnne. I am an author, an intuitive psychologist, and an empath. And I'm starting something new on my YouTube station this month where I'm going to be offering daily content that inspires, shares perspective, shares thoughts with highly sensitive souls. And by highly sensitive souls, I mean these are you out there who identify as empaths, highly sensitives, intuitives, those of you who are spiritually open and awake and you are trying to grow and you're wanting that for your life. And those of you who might be at the beginning of the journey and you are drawn to those kinds of things, but you don't know where you fall out in the mix, that's okay. But I craft content for people who would identify as being a sensitive soul. And the reason that I do that is because that is my life experience. As somebody who is empathic, I'm an intuitive, I'm a psychic, I am also a psychologist. My life's work has been about understanding human behavior and understanding who we are from all sorts of different multi-dimensions. So I feel like I can offer some ideas, some thoughts, and some perspectives on issues to help all of us feel inspired and more supported and understood. And I felt called to do that on my YouTube. So here I am. I'm showing up for myself. That's why we are here. We're here to show up for ourselves. And I'm starting this on August 30th for the Virgo new moon, even though I'm calling this Self-Acceptance September because that's going to be the month's theme. But I wanted to start it on Friday, August 30th for the Virgo new moon because new moons are a really beautiful time to plant seeds of intention and to think about what do we want to plant and then watch manifest in our life over the next few moon cycles. So that seemed like a really good auspicious time to start. Also, it's the beginning of fall. I actually live on an island. It's 88 degrees outside. It's so humid, but I grew up in Alaska and fall is in my heart right now, even if it's not fall on the island. And I was like, okay, let's do something new for fall. So this month we're going to be focusing on different aspects that support developing a deeper level of self-acceptance with ourselves. And for today, I chose vulnerability. And the reason I chose that is because it feels really vulnerable to do this. Each of us in our own way is being called to show up in ways that are bigger and brighter in our life. We are being called to show up to grow more, to be more authentic, to speak our truth more, to be more in alignment with our understanding of who we are, to be more in alignment with our understanding of the divine and spiritual truths and our intuition, and to live that out and bring that out into the world. And that's really vulnerable because it means putting ourselves out there. Maybe not on a YouTube video, but maybe that's in a relationship, or making hard choices, or being called to change something big in your life. Maybe it's just being called to reevaluate old belief systems that no longer serve you and have to be in that really hard space where you're like, I don't know what I believe about anything anymore, because you are getting rid and you're tossing out of your internal closet all the stuff that doesn't fit, but you haven't quite figured out what to pull in and what to integrate. It's really vulnerable to be in that space of stepping into our biggest, brightest versions of self. But that's what we're here for. We are not called to play small. We're called to be lights and to shine brightly for other people. And that's going to look different based on who we are and what our soul calling is. But each of us is called to keep expanding. We don't just go through I was the caterpillar and then I was in my cocoon, I got my wings and now I'm flying around like a butterfly one time. We go through it multiple times in our life. And I think we keep shedding old wings and stepping into new ones and bigger ones. We are here to be vulnerable. And I want to offer the thought in this first video that if we can claim our vulnerability like a superpower and we can own it and make it work for us instead of against us, that helps us feel a lot more equipped to keep going in the journey. We have to own how vulnerable we feel, how scary it is, how hard it is to put ourselves out there. I really believe we need to acknowledge that within ourselves so that we can grow through it and say, okay, but am I going to let that stop me? And I'm gonna give a really good example. I used to make more regular content on YouTube a couple years ago. I was doing like full moon energy updates. It's what was on my heart at the time. And I was doing them weekly. And one time I happened to be scrolling through the ones and somebody had given it a thumbs down. Now I had a really small following at the time. So, you know, there was like 5 thumbs up, but that one thumbs down hit me, and it hit me hard because I'm a sensitive soul. We tend to feel things down to like our cells. You know, we sometimes wear our hearts on our sleeve and they bleed really easily. Our fragility is part of what makes us like badasses when it comes to having these huge hearts capable of caring. But my huge heart hurt with that. And I was in a space in my life at the time where I was really going through a transition and I wasn't feeling very armored for criticism. You know, it had been so hard for me to even put those videos up there that I wasn't prepared for that like one tiny thumbs down, which to be honest, somebody could have hit the wrong button. You know, maybe they really didn't like the video, who knows? And I chose to put all my videos on private at the time and then take a break from it because I needed some space. Now, I would very much say if you're a highly sensitive person and something hits you hard and you need to take space for yourself, you take the space. I wouldn't go back and change that. It's what I needed at the time. I needed to take care of my heart and get myself feeling a little bit stronger before I tried again. But I can also look back and say, wow, you really let somebody affect you who doesn't know you, who you don't know, who knows nothing about your journey, your soul, who's never sat in a room with you, who knows nothing about the truth of who you are. And that's the thing we have to realize with vulnerability. Most of the stuff that we're afraid of, most of the people we're afraid are going to judge us, what they're going to think, what happens if I do this, those people are not the ones invested in knowing the truth of who we are. They're more invested in knowing the truth of who they are. And that's their truth, that's their own journey, that's great, but it has nothing to do with us. We're not here to be held back by other people's judgment. We are here to find ways to say, I see what you're doing over there. You're busy doing the thumbs down and hating on things. That's fine. I'm going to sidestep that and keep going anyways because that has nothing to do with me. So wherever you're at in life today, that's the perspective I offer you. Whatever it is that's holding you back from wanting to be bigger, wanting to expand, whatever vulnerabilities you have where you say, but that's really scary for me. What if I get judged by that? Realize that that stuff over there has nothing to do with the truth of who you are. And you're called here to embody the truth of who you are. So let's do that. I will be back tomorrow with more self-acceptance, soul care stuff for the month of September. Please feel free to subscribe if you like this content. You can also find me on my website where I offer a free class on finding out your heart magic, and I have some other stuff that supports highly sensitive souls and our growth and development. With that, aloha, and I will see everybody tomorrow.